Hello friends, welcome to the session on C++ programming language. In this session, we'll be discussing about control structures in C++ programming language. In this session, we will see what we mean by control structures, where they are actually used while we program in C++, and also we will see what are the different types of control structures available in C++. Also, we will see some programming examples. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, Learn with Prakash Kare, and subscribe to the channel to see many videos on the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the question, what we mean by decision making in C++. In real life, you will always find that we always need to make a decision regarding which path to opt. Say, for example, you have studied at last 10 and now you want to make a decision whether you want to go for the study of science or non-science subjects. So in real life, always we make a decision and we act accordingly. Friends, you will find that in C++, whenever we write any program, then the statements are sequentially executed. That is, first of all, the first statement is executed, then the second statement is executed, and then the third statement is executed. And in this way, all the statements are executed one after the other. But in programming, many times we make a decision, and based on the decision, we need to change the flow of the program. So it is possible that it is required to jump from one statement to another statement whenever certain condition is satisfied. And whenever we want to do the change in the flow of the program, then in those cases we'll be making the use of control statements in the programming language. So the flow of the program in a programming language like C++ can be controlled by using the control structures in the C++ programming language. Normally, you will find that there are two types of control structures available in C++ programming language. The first type is being called as a conditional statement, and the another type is being called as a loop control statement. Now, as far as this session is concerned, we will be discussing about the conditional statements in C++ programming language. As I told you, in real life, always we perform some action based on the condition. Say, for example, if it is raining outside, then probably you will make a decision to stay at home. Or if there is a corona fever outside, then probably you will not go to your school or college. So we need to check for a condition, and based on the condition, we will perform some action. Similarly, while writing the program, because most of the time programs are written for real life situations, and therefore while writing programs also, we need to check for the condition. So the condition can be checked by making the use of the conditional statements. And by making the use of the conditional statement, we can take a decision based on the certain condition. The condition in C++ can either have a Boolean value, and the Boolean value can be either a true value or a false value. Any non-zero value is being considered as a true value in C++, and a zero value is being considered as a false value. Now, there are three popular conditional statements in C++ programming language, and they are if statement, another is the if else statement, and the third one is the switch statement. So one can easily observe that all these three statements are also available in the C programming language. So C++ also supports C, and therefore all these three statements, if statement, if else statement, and switch statement, are available in the C++ programming language, which can be used for making decisions. Now let us go for the if statement first. Now let us see what is the syntax for the if statement. The if statement syntax is something like this. Initially, you have to write down this keyword if followed by the condition or expression. And in the curly bracket, you can write down the number of statements where the number of statement will comprise the if block. So the syntax of the if statement can be described by this diagram. So initially, we will check for the condition or expression. If the value of this expression is true, then the if block statement will be executed, and then the control will be transferred to the next statement within the program. If the condition is false, then the control of execution will be transferred to the next statement. That is, in that case, this if block of statement will not be executed. Say, for example, we can write something like this: if in the bracket we mention the condition n modulo division equal to 2, and then we will print a message that this is an even number. So whenever the number is completely divisible by 2, then that number can be called as an even number. So if this condition is satisfied, then this statement will be executed. If this condition returns a false value, then this statement will not be executed. Another type of the statement that is very popularly used in C++ programming language, and it is called as the if-else statement. So the syntax for the if-else statement is like this. Initially, we will write the keyword if, then followed by the condition or expression. Then in the first curly bracket, we will write down the if block of statement. Then we will put this keyword else. And in the another curly bracket, we will put down the else block of statement. So the syntax for the if-else statement can be described by the diagram as shown in this figure. So initially we will check for the condition. If the condition is true, then the if block of statement will be executed and the control will be transferred to the next statement. If the condition is false, then the else block of statement will be executed and the control will be transferred to the next statement. So one can easily observe that in no case both the blocks will be executed. Either if block of statement will be executed or else block of statement will be executed, and then the control will be transferred to the next statement. Say, for example, if I write a code, if n modulo division 2 equal to 0, then we will print the message that this is an even number. Otherwise, we can print the message that this is an odd number. So this message will be executed only when this condition will return a true value, and the odd number message will be executed only when the condition returns a false value. Another popular statement that can be used with C++ programs is called as the switch statement. The syntax for the switch statement is like this: switch, then in the bracket, we will put down the expression or condition, and then this expression must return some kind of value. And this value is being matched with the different values called as the case values. So if the value written by the expression 1 is value 1, then the case 1 block of statement will be executed, and then we will break the execution so that the control will be transferred to the outside the case. And if the value written by the expression is equal to the value 2, then the case 2 block of the statement will be executed, and then the break statement will be executed so that we will come out of the switch. So in this way, you will find that according to the value of the expression, the corresponding block of statement will be executed, and then we will break it. Else otherwise, there is a default block, and if none of the values will get matched, in that case, the default block of statement will be executed and the control will be transferred to the next statement. Say, for example, as shown in this diagram, initially we will check for the switch expression, its value will be computed. If it matches with the value 1, then the case block of statement, case 1 block of statement will be executed and the control will be transferred to the next statement within the program. Otherwise, if it matches with the value 2, then the case 2 block of statement will be executed and the control will be transferred to the next statement within the program. Otherwise, if it matches with the value 3, then the case 3 block of statement will be executed and the control will be transferred to the next statement. If none of the values are not matched, then in that case, the default block of statement will be executed and the control will be transferred to the next statement within the program. So you can say that here we are having multiple options and we can make use of these multiple options in order to write an efficient code. Now let us see one simple C++ program and let us check for its output. So whenever you want to execute any C++ program, then as I told you that you should have a C++ compiler available on your computer. As I told you that many C++ compilers are available online, and you can Google them, you can find them, and you can use them whenever you want to type or execute any C++ program. Say for example, this is a simple C++ program that can be used for building of simple calculator. So as shown in this program, initially we will include the IO stream, input output stream header file using the namespace standard. Then in the main program, we have declared some variables. The first variable is a character variable, and there are two variables called float numbers, number 1 and number 2. Initially, we will ask the user to enter an operator such as plus, minus, star, or division, and accordingly, the corresponding operation will be performed. Then we will ask the user to enter the numbers, number 1 and number 2. Now, whenever the operator is plus, that is, whenever the operator value is plus, then the case 1 block of statement will be executed. That is, we will compute the addition of the two numbers. If it is minus, then we will perform the subtraction. If it is star, then we will perform the multiplication of the two numbers. If it is slash, then we will perform the division of the two numbers. If none of the value will get matched, then the default block of statement will be executed where we are going to print the error message. And finally, we will return a 0 value to our main function because our main function is declared of the type integer. So whenever you type this program in a text window of any online C++ compiler, then you will find that there is a run button available. And when you click on this run button, this program will get executed and you will get the output something like this. So initially we have entered the operator plus, and then we have entered the two number 3, 4 and 6, 6. And therefore we will get the message 3, 4 plus 6 is equal to 100. So thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood what are the different control structures available in C++ and how we can make the use of them while writing programs in C++. Thank you all for viewing the session.